Namaste, Jai Bharat. Convenience is criteria. Convenience is not criterion, convenience is criteria because convenience implies variety of convenience. This is what the United States of America, which Pablo Neruda called as United Fruit Company. I don't say. Neruda calls it as United Fruit Company. That poetry is interesting. Anyway, so the Americans, their typical archetype of convenience is criteria. They speak of human rights, they speak of freedom, they speak of freedom of expression, they speak of all lofty things, but they are the greatest violators of all these things which they advocate. You call it as a hypocrisy, it's going to be too mild a term. I don't call it as hypocrisy, I simply call it as self-deception. They are deceiving themselves. And their medicine is from the jihadi terrorists. And they keep receiving it from time to time. They do such things and they keep getting it from the jihadis. This is going to go on. Now, why I said this is the Russia. Somehow they never liked Russia, apart along with the former Soviet Union. Of course, nowadays they are very friendly to Ukraine. Not real friendship. No, they want instruments all over the world. They want Ukraine to be an instrument in their hands. Bangladesh now is an instrument in their hands. And other many places they are trying to make them as instruments. Not that they have any affection, love or care for all these people. They think that this is their priorities and these are their preferences and things are in their interest. They think. I wonder there is no one sensible there or what? Who can't see beyond their noses? Nothing is going to work for a long day. How many of mistakes they have done throughout the history? Pick up their interventions, their interference with other states, other societies and what they have achieved. There is a saying, first you make your own house, set your own house in order before getting into the neighbor's matters, affairs. So now, why I say this is simple. Russia has got something like Press Trust of India. They have got a press journalist group called RT, Romeo Tango, RT. And now United States, America wants to put sanctions on the RT. They wanted to ban RT. There are accredited journalists with the RT. They just wanted to revoke all the accreditations. And they indirectly wanted Bharat to do it, and Bharat will say two hoots to you. That had been our position, especially now. We can't be kept as a puppet, but we are not at the mercy of anyone. We are not at the mercy of anyone. If they help us, we also help them back in many ways. Relations are always two ways. There is no one-way relation. Like Pakistan is having only one-way relations with them. Their problem, they suffer, and they are unable to even react. I mean, speak and instead forget about reacting. So, the Americans want RT to be banned all over the world. Now, Russia makes an interesting reaction. That is interesting. Russia is suggesting that America should have a department for implementing sanctions on the rest of the world. They should have a service like the administrative service we have. Like they should also have a sanction implementing service officers. Their job should be to go around and see the world. Wherever they can put sanctions, they will put sanctions. They keep putting sanctions on people, and people have their own difficulties when they put sanctions, but they will know how to survey. You are not solely dependent on one particular person. There are alternatives. You close one door for us, 9 doors will open for us. And there's a principle like that in the world which you don't know. So they want to implement sanctions on RT, revoke the accreditations of their journalists, and the Russians gave a befitting reply that you keep putting sanctions on all our people around the world whom you don't like. What I don't like, you also don't like. What I don't want, you should also don't want. This is the kind of things they do. This is the kind of things they had been doing. Now, this is here I say, convenience become criteria. Whatever is convenient to them, it's fine. And whatever is fine for them, it's fine for everyone. What they don't like, you also don't like. And these very people come and speak about great, lofty things. There's absolutely no unity of thought and action. That is what we call it in philosophy. Unity of thought and action. That situation where when a person becomes transparent, upright, outrightly honest, and noble. Is it also the case that they don't have the word nobility in the dictionaries what they print there? I don't know. Nobility is a concept which people should have. But a group of people who are running a nation have no such consideration for other human beings. Nothing like nobility. I don't like, therefore you also don't like it. And they will coerce the others. You do it for me. Do it for us. You should also do it. This is what they have been doing. They have interfered in Bangladesh very evidently. I have no proofs directly with my hands, but this is what I hear. And I say what I speak, what I hear. So RT should be banned. But the reply of Russians was very interesting. One of my professors was telling that the Russians have a dry humor. No, on a different context, not in this context. The Russians have dry humor in the literary sense. In the area of literature, he was telling, and he was also saying that the French have a better humor. The British also don't have that rich humor. That's my professor's opinion. Great person, my professor. But this is the best humor I had in recent times. The Russians, you start initiating a department for implementing sanctions all over the world, recruit officers with such expertise. There is a word in Sanskrit, doshega drikkatva. Doshega drikkatva means a person is only finding fault with others. Such people in Sanskrit are called doshega drikks. Means this man only can find out fault with others. He is unable, incapable of seeing anything positive, anything good in anyone. That person is called as doshega drik. So this is doshega drikkatva. So Russia was suggesting you get hold of some your service officers, administrative officers, whatever, who is blessed with the property or quality of doshega drikkatva, and create a section for a department for implementing sanctions on wherever he wants. RT should be banned. Their accreditation should be revoked, and these are the things. First of all, you intervene in others' matters. Secondly, you start imposing, throwing a weight around on other people. Thirdly, you do exactly opposite to what you preach. People say that you practice what you preach. No, there is no question of practicing what they preach here. In this case, they preach for the sake of preaching. Practice for their own sakes. These are the interesting things happening in the world, and what to do? You have to remain witness to this, and we can make fun of it. What else? We meet again. Till then, Namaste, Jai Bharat and Jai Shri Ram.